Jobkeeper recipients refusing to return to work. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I have my morning stein of coffee that I'm steadily working through, and I thought we'd have a look at this article from news.com.au. It's discussing examples where JobKeeper workers or JobKeeper recipients are refusing to return to work. Now, we're hearing these stories anecdotally again and again, where people who are receiving JobKeeper or on the job seeker with bonus are refusing to come into work or are less incentivized to come to work. Right now, the problem with the job seeker bonus, it creates a, welfare trap. They'll hit a certain point where when you work, you'll instantly lose that bonus. So you're working and getting less money. That's the problem. So you'd be stupid to do it. You really would. I don't blame anyone for taking advantage of the situation. You're less stressed. Your health is probably going to be better. You got more time to exercise and eat better. And you get more money. So, yeah, makes perfect sense. The concern is the people that are quitting jobs to go on welfare, which some people have mentioned in the comments, and I've seen in other YouTube videos discussed, particularly in the States. And then what's going to happen when the bonus runs out? Don't worry, they're political calls to introduce UBI or to push it up. I am, let's just say, a little skeptical about universal basic income. Even the arguments that it'll simplify our entire welfare process by removing all the different approaches. I bet you what we'll see UBI++. Do you have a pre-existing medical condition that requires extra care? They'll wrap that up into UBI. Or it'll be regionalized UBI. Are you in the regions where you get UBI beta 9, which gives you this extra? And then there'll be a special interest group going, oh, we need higher UBI because we have this special particular need that no other people need. So please treat us as privileged and don't you dare criticize us in public. That'll be UBI XY. What do you think, guys? Do you think I'm just worried for needlessly over a potential increase into this free money? But we'll see. We'll see, guys. Let's keep watching. So let's have a look at this. So parents are denied free childcare as operators, JobKeeper workers are refusing to come in. So the free childcare, this has been a unmitigated disaster, the government stepping in this industry. Childcare is extremely regulated, guys. It's extremely regulated. Just from a designer's perspective, all of the requirements they have on these places is crazy. We never actually put our children in childcare. I remember when we had our office in Uronga, we went and had a look at the local childcare. I thought, it'd be good to get Mina in there for a little bit. And I just saw all the hippie propaganda rubbish on the walls, posted up everywhere, and I go, you know what? I don't want my 2-year-old or 3-year-old exposed to this type of rubbish because, there's stuff there that I know is completely wrong. Completely wrong, but yeah. And that, it was all enclosed and quite depressing, really. And it's cost a lot of money. So let's go through this, guys. Childcare centres are refusing to care for kids despite the Prime Minister's free childcare pledge, leaving parents in the lurch. Angry parents have revealed that some childcare operators have told them to keep their kids at home until the current arrangements run out on June 28. The bizarre outcome means that thousands of parents are missing out on free childcare despite taxpayers pumping a stunning $1.6 billion into the sector. $1.6 billion, guys. Here's the thing, childcare, I would argue, needs to be deregulated, guys. It needs to be deregulated and simplified. There needs to be a better approach to it. And there's lots of examples of businesses, dodgy businesses, taking advantage of it, people taking advantage of the whole system. It's a bit of a mess. But 1.6 billion pumped into it, that's going to be future taxes, future debts for these kids that they're going to have to pay. So, see, we all pay for it one way or another. Nothing the government gives you free is ever free. You'll pay for it, guys. Under the plan, and they'll pay for it, and their kids probably won't get access to it. It'll probably be a dumb, simplified version or a cutback version. Under the plan, the Morrison government agreed to pay half of the operating costs of Australia's 13,000 childcare centres and early learning centres after plummeting attendance rates in the early days of the pandemic. But now some childcare operators claim they can't provide care for any of the children enrolled as attendance rises because government subsidies remain frozen at 50% of the normal rate until July. So they've stuffed it up. The government has stuffed it up in the way they're doing it. Childcare workers' wages are also being subsidised by $1,500 a fortnight. So they're getting the subsidy and they're getting the $1,500 a fortnight and they're refusing to take kids. Okay, great industry you got there, guys. Great industry you got there. But Early Childhood Australia CEO Sam Page said some childcare workers are refusing to turn up for work, preferring to stay home and claim the $1,500 a fortnight JobKeeper allowance. So there you go. Some workers are not turning up. Well, if you give people free money where they don't need to do anything, I mean, why would you work for it when you don't get it? I don't understand. I don't understand why people are surprised at this, guys. It makes perfect sense. It makes complete and perfect sense. This is the problem with pushes to introduce a UBI. People aren't going to work, guys. Not everyone is ambitious. Some people will happily sit on their ass getting the free money and just living a nice, comfortable life. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Keep them out of the workforce. Keep them out of getting in the way of all the productive people. The Pareto principle, guys. Put the 80% on UBI and the 20% of work. I think that might build a bit of resentment. Let me know in the comments what you think. One of the difficulties about JobKeeper is we do hear that from employees is once you get someone on JobKeeper, it's hard to require them to come into work, she said. There are workers who are worried about the pandemic, so if they can manage on JobKeeper and stay at home, some prefer to do that. While larger operators, including Good Start, have been able to provide care for most parents who need it, even if that means running some services at a short-term loss, other smaller operators argue they can't risk that. Education Minister Dan Tehan's deadline to give parents 4 weeks' notice about what happens after the free childcare pledge runs out on Saturday. Mr. Tehan defended the current scheme as designed to protect the childcare sector at a time when many fear it would collapse as worried parents took their kids out of childcare because of the pandemic or job losses. Well, maybe this industry, because there's pushes to wrap this up into schooling and make it mandatory. And there is questionable evidence that actually such early childhood intervention as opposed to just children playing has any benefit. I guess with our family, with the number of kids we have, we've got children socializing and playing. Our backyard looks horrible. There's, tarps and chairs and timber, and the kids play and build things. That's kind of what you want, isn't it? You got to sacrifice that manicured lawn for children's development. At least that's the excuse I'm using. That's the excuse I'm using. What do you reckon, guys? I mean, didn't you play building cubby houses, building trees, all this type of stuff when you were a kid? Off the Xboxes. We only had Nintendos back then. 1 or 2 games. That was it. Went spoiled. And you had to wait a week between television shows. I remember that. Now with instant access, these kids have no idea. Anyway, back to this. The government's early childhood education and care relief package was introduced because Australia's childcare centres were experiencing mass withdrawals which threatened their ability to provide care and continuity of education, particularly to the children of essential workers, he told news.com.au. He stressed that priority for places was for nurses, doctors and teachers and other essential workers. Childcare centres, childcare providers that receive the early childhood education and care relief package are expected to remain open and provide free childcare, prioritising care to the children of essential workers and vulnerable children and children whose family have an existing relationship with the service, he said. A 4-week review of the government's emergency child care relief package found the package had succeeded in its objectives of keeping services open and viable, with 99% of around 13,500 services operational as of the 8th of May 2020. The government continues to review and assess the relief package in light of our success at flattening the curve and other issues raised by the new system. We need to consider how the package can best support the economic recovery, help parents to get back to work and study, and ensure children's early childhood education and well-being. Ms. Page said childcare operators risk running at a loss as attendance rates return to normal. Some services are allocating lower hours to all parents, she said. Other services ask parents what jobs they do and whether they need to send their kids to care. We have said to the government they need to give us some clarity on what they expect. I absolutely can see the frustration on both sides. We're seeing demand for childcare services starting to pick up. It's not good for the relationship between parents and the centres. So there you have it, guys. A few interesting insights into the childcare industry, heavily subsidised by government, heavily regulated by government, workers refusing to turn up because, well, they're on Jobkeeper, refusing to take the risk, even though, well, Australia has not been hit very hard by this pandemic by any measure other than economically. And every victim you see, there's not really much discussion about other health issues. Well, nonetheless, guys, what do you think about all of this? Do you think this is just, well, an incredibly over-regulated industry? Are you a fan of childcare? Do you think the government needs to spend more money in it, take more control over children's lives? We can't have parents teaching children anything. Do you think the people are justified staying home on Jobkeeper to be safe and not work? Or do you think this will set a bad precedent? As always, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you're a fan and you'd like to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join the channel on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us via our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay, or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. You can use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint. You can support us via our affiliate links, or buying our merch, or finally using PayPal. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video.